Hi, so today install natin ang Visual Studio from the Visual Studio URL found the web. So let's launch our browser, then type in Visual Studio Community Edition. From the results, pwede nating i-open by right click, and as you can see here, you have your download button. So just download it. After the download finishes, you can see here. Okay, so pag lumabas to, you could either cancel it or you can basically fill this up. Then show the folder where it is located. In this case, it's in my downloads folder. I always use right click run as administrator para at least um, mismong changes ang makikita ko. So yes. Ito siya. So once we click on next, yan na siya. I'll just remove the other screens here. So this is your next screen. So from here, we'll select, well, since basic lang naman ang gagawin natin, we can either select this one, desktop development, para maliit lang yung uh, footprint or yung space na kakainin niya sa hard disk. But syempre, it's up to you. You can actually select everything. But ito yung pinaka basic natin. So we can also use, kung gusto nyo mag-explore sa web, add na rin natin. But as I've said, this would be just for the basics. So we'll continue with what we have, which is the desktop development. Then just click on install. As you can see, it's already 5.51 gigabytes. Then install it. So this will take some time, kaya ipopause ko muna, or you can actually continue this with what you have now, tapos wait for it to finish on your machines. By the way, question is, ano ba ang hardware requirements ng Visual Studio? So I'll minimize this, right click on my system settings. So system. So ang settings ko is more or less medyo mas mataas siguro sa kung anong meron kayo. I have an i7 machine, which is, well, it's an old model of i7, which is, I think, generation 3 pa to. So but I have 8 gigabits of RAM, and 320 gigabit of hard disk. So for the minimum requirements for Visual Studio, pwede ang Celeron, but I won't suggest it. Um, Siguro pinaka-minimum is i3, tapos at least 4 gigabits of memory, okay na yun. Kasi masyadong matakaw sa memory si Visual Studio. Kaya kailangan natin siyang ah, tingnan din. So, consideration din. Okay? So, again, this will continue until such time na matapos to. After that, I'll show you the final output, uh, the final version of the uh, the environment na kailangan natin tingnan para masiguradong gumagana yung ginawa natin. Okay? So, talk to you in a bit. So, nasa 92% na tayo. So, we'll just wait. Alright, so 99%. Then it will automatically start so we can view our Visual Studio environment. It's already at 100. So here we go. So it's either you modify or launch. So click on launch. So this would be the screen after it launches. Nag-aantay pa. So yun, nakita nyong yun yung pinaka splash screen niya. There we have it. Okay. So, ipot lang natin. So, there we go. So, ito pwedeng i-unclick. Azure Active Directories is part of Visual Studio, part of Microsoft na well, nire-require niya pero pwede nating maybe later na lang natin. Okay, so yung theme na gusto natin for Visual Studio, again, I'll minimize this. So, ano bang gusto natin? On my part, I like the dark color para contrast lagi. So, start. So, notice na nakalagay for first use. Again, a few minutes to wait. And while waiting, I've looked up the requirements for Visual Studio. So, kung at least ganito yung settings ng hardware nyo, quad-core or better, diba? 1.8 gigahertz. Then, tapos at least may 2 gigabits of RAM ka. But 8 is recommended. Okay, then hard disk of 800 MB pataas. So, yan. So, ito yung kaya niran ko siya as administrator kasi administrator rights are required to install. So, required yun. Right? So, that's it. And I believe it has already launched. So, ito na siya. Then, we can create later or we can test it by create a new project. Then from creating a new project, tatanungin ka niya anong type of project and so on. I guess this parts we can basically discuss on our formal classes. So that would be how you set up Visual Studio. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.